Bella Vista Gardening Program. I'm Char Brunje, and joining me today is my grandson, Tristen Brunje, who is in the 5th grade at the Gravette Upper Elementary, and also a special guest, Roz Gates, and she's a master gardener from Wisconsin. We will also be talking about what you need to do in the garden in May, but with my grandson, we are going to talk about vegetable gardening for kids. Some of the upcoming events that you might want to hear about are the Bella Vista Garden Club's plant sale, and that will be on Saturday, May 6th at Village Wastewater Company, which is off of Highway 71. It will be from 8 o'clock until 1. If you are watching this program after May 6th and have missed the sale, you still have an opportunity to buy plants, and they will be for sale again at Village Wastewater Company, and you can buy them Monday through Friday. The time will be 9 until 3. Just check in at the office first. Okay, let's get started now with our vegetable gardening for kids. What are you planting today, Tristen, in your big Tonka truck here?
Lettuce and some Swiss chard.
Okay, go ahead and plant your lettuce.
What you want to do is just put your finger in, make a little hole, and then put your lettuce inside. Then close your dirt around the lettuce.
Okay.
And what are you planting next?
I'm going to plant my Swiss chard, and it's almost the exact same process. Just put your finger in, make a little hole, and then put your Swiss chard in there, and just put some dirt around it.
Okay, finish the last one.
And then my other one, just dig another hole, put it in, and put the dirt back around it.
Think they're thirsty?
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for children to spray with a spray bottle, and then they're not putting too much water in the planter.
And then decoration.
Super.
Okay.
Good job. All right,
There you go. Okay.
there's this truck. Whoops, there went one of the rocks off the dump truck.
Okay, next we are going to be doing a pepper. And peppers are larger plants, so they'll need to go in a larger container. And what works for children is sometimes just to use a tablespoon from your kitchen, because they can handle that. And we also have, what else do we have with our pepper today?
Chives.
Chives. Okay, go ahead.
Show them how to take it out of the bucket there.
Okay, for taking it out of the planter, you just want to go around and squeeze it a little bit, and you want to give it a few taps on the back, and just
Great.
pull it right out.
And what are you going to do with those roots?
You're going to want to cut them off, and the ones that are kind of like around it, you just want to pull off.
Okay, here, I can help you with the clipping. There.
Then you want to take your spoon, dig a little bit into the dirt,
Okay.
put your plant in,
That's okay. There you go.
Here, push it down.
Yeah.
Use your fingers, I think it'll be easier for you to push. Give it a good shove.
And then you have some decorative gems that you would like to decorate the planter with. Okay.
Put that in there first. This is a watering method to make it easier for kids to water. You just take a water bottle, take the knob off the end, clip it around, and it creates a little funnel.
Okay.
and then
These are little colored glass gems that you can pick up at any store. And it just makes it a little bit more interesting because it has the primary colors for children. Okay, now you're going to water, and it's always best if you have a watering can that has a tiny spout for them. And then you can put that right in your little funnel there and water your plant. And our pepper already has one blossom on it. There, great.
And that way it also gets down to the roots, so the plants get fed where they need to be fed.
And we have a little marker here that says chives, and they'll be growing up over the edge. There, great job, Tristen.
Way to
great
go.
job.
All right.
Okay, next.
This is a method where you can help kids be able to plant seeds without getting too many. So we poured some on there. Tristen, show them how you do that.
And if you apply them to the strip of masking tape, they'll be evened out. Okay,
With the sticky side up, because that'll allow them to lay them in rows without getting them all over the place.
There you go. Put them on. And then just tap them down just lightly, and they'll stay right there. There you go. Okay, that's fine. We're good with that.
Okay.
All right, next we're going to be doing we're going to do the cupcake tin. A cupcake tin makes an easy thing for children to use because the dirt isn't going all over, and we use extra large cupcake liners, and then we tape them down with masking tape so they stay in the tin itself. All right, so we're going to use the same seeds, the carrots, and go ahead and plant.
But you could use peas or anything that you want to sprout and be able to transplant, and that way it's easier to thin them out when you're putting them in if they're in a smaller container like that.
Here, okay, do a couple more. And then we label the tin with carrots or peas or lettuce, whatever we're planting in the tin itself. There, okay, I think we've showed them.
Another one
idea.
that you could probably put in there would be if you wanted a flower plant. Nasturtiums actually act as salad. You can take the fresh blossoms and break off the plants, and then you get a little peppery flavor in your salads.
Okay, now we need the big tray.
All right.
Here we go. Okay, talk about your tray, Tristen.
Right here we have some plain parsley. We have variegated
It's
oregano.
the variegated kind.
Variegated. We have some Siam Queen basil. We have the red Reuben basil, and we have whole spinach.
This sounds like the making of a pizza or some spaghetti to me, Tristen. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
show
go
you
ahead and plant
oregano.
some.
Okay, show them how you're planting.
I'm going to
use
start
your
at this
fingers.
end. Start at this end. Work your way over. Again, he's just digging the hole,
With my fingers, and
making a
then
nice well for the plant to go in, aren't you?
and then
Push down.
push down
good.
in, and just
soil is
push the
firm.
dirt around it. Then for your red Reuben basil,
Make a bigger hole.
you want to make.
You want the spoon?
Sure, I'll take the spoon. You want to make a little bit of a bigger hole because it's got a bigger way around it.
Bigger root system.
And just put it in.
And children like to get their fingers dirty, so we did not make him wear gloves. He likes playing in the
Playing in dirt's
Dirt.
fun for big people,
And then
too.
our Siam Queen.
And it's a good thing to mark all of the plants, and the children then will get to know what they look like, what they're called.
Another thing you could do is put a little ruler in if they want to measure how fast it grows. Then they can see whether it's making progress.
Okay, you're
Good
doing
job.
a wonderful job. Right. Okay, all
Then-
of this out.
To our variegated oregano. Again, you just want to
Squeeze the container. And then tap the bottom.
And you can give it a pull.
I don't think you'll hurt it. You'll be okay.
Just tip it.
Tip
Tip it and it'll come right out.
Pull gently.
There you go.
Okay.
Now,
You're digging your hole. You're doing fine. There. And then just put the dirt around. And that's a little plant, but it will be just fine in the middle there. Okay, you have one more now. I'll take out your
this
marker.
one is my
Okay, it's your
my plain parsley.
And Tristen likes to sample the leaves right from the container. And his favorite is the basil.
Oop, more of these roots.
Right,
Okay.
good job, Tristen.
Moving the roots down.
Otherwise, they'll grow in a circular pattern and actually strangle themselves. So you want to get rid of those roots that are growing in the pot.
Up there. Okay. I can help you make a little bit more of a
Just pull those right off, Tristen. They're not going to hurt them. There you go.
there. That's okay. Okay, and then what do you do next?
Then
You're gonna
the dirt around it.
tap it around. Okay. Here's your marker. There you go.
Now, he has
Okay.
some decorations. Is this where the worm goes?
Talk about this worm.
This worm, what it does is if it'll soak up water. So when the water soaks up, it'll then, when it's ready, it'll transfer the water from the worm into the plant. So then the plant gets the water that it needs.
Or if the worm is dry, what is that telling you?
That's telling us that we need to water the plant.
Absolutely.
Decorations? Your favorite?
Decorations. The little worm right here.
Okay.
Special
And
the
again, we're
decorations.
using the colored gems. We're just going to sprinkle them throughout. There, sprinkle a little in the front. Okay, we won't use all of them. We'll just show them so that they kind of get the idea. Okay, here are your little windmills. There you go. And we have to make it fun for the children. And then a couple more of your frogs.
How about over here?
And it's always a good idea to keep some wipies with you, and then you can just let the children wipe their hands after. We'll pass these out for everybody. Kind of helps make things sanitary.
And there, he's got his planter all done.
Okay,
Good
was that
job.
fun?
There's one more thing.
Oh, one more thing. He needs to mist. And that's another thing. The children love the water.
And you can actually tell them, you know, if you stick your finger in, the worm isn't telling you. If it's dry, you need to water them because they like consistent water. They don't need a whole lot. Watering in the morning and stuff helps them to be able to evaporate it during the day so you don't get the marks on the leaves. So
Okay, and then we're going to show one more item, our strip of carrot seeds. He's going to show you how he'll place them in here, in the tray. Okay, find a spot where you can place that in, maybe back there. And then you would place the strip right in the tray.
and put the dirt right over the top of it. Just push it down, Tris. That's it. Make a little trough. And what's nice about using the masking tape is if you've got a certain set amount that they're supposed to be spaced, you can actually make little X's on the tape, and then the child knows where to put them, and then they can watch them grow and make sure that they're spaced properly, and then they just transplant them into the garden once they've sprouted.
Okay, you might need to use a little mist on the top to get them to sprout. There you go.
Good
Okay.
job. Thanks,
All right,
Tristan.
Thank you.
Good job.
You can leave this right here, and we'll invite you to come back a little bit later. You're going to use the wipies to do your hands. There you go. Okay, Roz and I are going to talk about things to do in May. And May is the time to finish your planting. And don't forget to mulch everything that you plant because you'll be glad you did later on in the season. And of course, we're dealing with the annuals and the perennials. The bedding plants are set out and your containers can be planted. Polymers that hold the water for the plants are very helpful for the roots, and you can put that in the bottom of your container.
Okay, with herbs, they're basically a nighttime loving plant, cold loving plant, so that when you start planting them, you may want to harden them a little bit first. If you're going to have pots, set them out into a cold porch or someplace where they get some cold air, and then transplant them once you've gotten used to the sun, because you can also sunburn them. And then what you're going to do is when it's above 50 degrees, you can probably put them out and they'll be safe. And most herbs need full sun, but some of them like a little shade too. So herbs are good for everything. You can use them in a lot of different meals that you prepare and make it fun.
Yes, definitely. And next we're going to talk about the bulbs. And bulbs need a little bit of a booster, and so we're going to do that at this time with some bone meal and some bulb feeder. Be sure to leave the bulbs in for 6 to 8 weeks before you cut off the leaves. And once you do start to see them wither, I usually braid them and then place a rock over the end of the braid, or you can put a pin to hold them down. And most herbs need the full sun. And so with this warmer weather in May, you can start mid-May planting the caladiums, the cannas, and the elephant ears. And they like that warmer mid-May planting weather. Perennials, finish planting those, divide them if you need to, and label like we did up here. That way you know what you're planting, and also you know the placement of the plantings.
Lawns grow rapidly in the early spring because they like the colder weather, and again in the fall. So when you're starting this, you want to mow at least 1/3 of the blade, no more, because if you cut them off too short, they actually get burned up. The clippings, if you let them go back into the ground, will actually help fertilize your lawn. If you don't like to use the clippings on your yard, at least make a compost pile and use those clippings to grow more things later on. They also need crabgrass control for Bermuda grasses between mid-May and mid-June. And when you're done with that, you need to fertilize and add more nitrogen if it starts getting too yellowish to do that. With roses are, again, you have a lot of different varieties these days. You've got to watch out for pests, aphids and fungus. They do have some products that take care of all of it, fertilize, take care of the bugs, and takes care of the black mold spots on roses.
Okay, we're going to talk about pruning the flowering shrubs, the trees at this time. And when you do that, you will want to make sure those newly planted trees and shrubs are watered, especially with our dry summers. So you need to continue to water that throughout the summer. And be sure you feed the azaleas and the rhododendrons after they bloom. And if you have some lilacs, like some of us do, you want to deadhead those lilacs at this time.
Yeah. And with vegetables, you can begin to plant some ahead like Tristen did, or you can use them to go directly into the soil. You can plant a variety of things. You've got pole beans that will need some sort of support. Same thing like with cucumbers. If you give them something to grow on, you don't have to bend over as far to pick them for sure. Lima beans, cucumbers, eggplants, peppers like we planted earlier with Tristen. But with the tomatoes particularly, if you take off some of the bottom leaves and plant them a little bit deeper, you'll find that they will produce more roots, and you have to provide some stabilization for them as they grow. And you need to make sure that you try and water at the base, not at the top, and make sure that they're consistently watered, otherwise the tomatoes will tend to crack and split. So have fun and enjoy your veggies.
And for more gardening information, you can check with the Master Gardeners, and our website has been on the lower part of your screen. It's www.bentoncountygardening.org. And also the Bella Vista Garden Club, you can go to our website, which is bellavistagardenclub.com. And our garden club meetings are done for now for the year, but we will start our club meetings again in September. So check your newspapers for that. And today I really want to thank my friend Roz, who has been my inspiration for gardening.
It's my pleasure, Char.
Okay, thank you. And my grandson Tristen, who has enjoyed vegetable gardening, and this is the child that goes through the produce section, and before I check out, he's eating the vegetables out of the cart. And one more thing, we want to make sure that you've enjoyed our gardening for kids, and what a great time it'll be for everyone, right, Tristen? Mm-hmm. To garden and use their vegetables from the garden.
I hope you've enjoyed the program, and we'll tune in again next month. Till then, don't forget to smell the roses.